Hello, class. Today we will be continuing our discussion about the elements. Last we did fire and air. Today we're going to do earth and water. So, the element of earth is that earth is the universal archetype of the divine feminine in many, many traditions. Our planet is fondly called Mother Earth, the Great Mother, or Gaia, among many other things. She represents the inexhaustible spirit of creation and is associated with abundance. When we work with Earth, not only are we calling the great expanse of our planet, its mountains, caves, and minerals and deserts, but we are also invoking her support and massive strength. From her emerges hidden treasure, and she is the proof that material things can be manifested from the divine. The Earth gives all living things the space and minerals they need to grow, so when we call Earth into our circle, as we stand at the North Quarter, we are inviting the living essence of our planet to join us in our celebrations and our magic. We are asking that this energy lend its aid to the work we are doing. When we ask for blessings from the North, we are envisioning abundance, stability, protection, and room to grow in a positive way. Throughout the history of magic, the element of Earth has been associated with a variety of deities, spirits, and angels. You can use what you like, as long as you remember the underlying basic. Earth is Earth is Earth. We can use a lot of breath with long invocations and draw exquisite, complicated sigils and dress it up all we want, but it's still dirt. It is the soil. Once you move through this and start more advanced material, advanced meditations and such, you'll know what I mean. From the magical as well as the esoteric alchemical viewpoint, Earth has the lowest vibration of the four elements, because it is solidly manifest in our world. In astrology, those signs symbolized by the earth element are Capricorn, motivated earth, Taurus, rooted earth, and Virgo, changing earth. As the moon moves through each sign for approximately 2.5 days each month, you have an opportunity to work with the moon's receptive energy in that sign. If you wanted to work on the structure of something, then you could choose a day when the moon is in Capricorn. If you wish to keep things the same or stockpile something, the moon is in Taurus in a perfect time for such a spell or ritual. If you need to make changes to a structure, investigate something, or find the quote-unquote bugs in a system, then the Virgo moon is the perfect time. Now, the sign of Earth is, of course, a triangle upside down with a line just a small way down of the top. The triangle has a long spiritual history. No matter the culture or religion, its basic meaning is 3 in 1. From the Zoroastrian fire, light, ether to the astrological significance of the big three, sun, moon, and rising sign that makes up the bulk of your personality, to the Wiccan idea of maiden, mother, and crone, and father, son, and sage, all stand for threefold nature of existence and the universe. In Egyptian magic, this triangle included Isis, the mother, Osiris, the father, and Horus, the manifestation of the two, the sun. An upward pointing triangle stands for the male principle, where the downward pointing one is the feminine. Remember, masculine and feminine magic really have nothing to do with gender, and have everything to do with how energy flows and manifests. The alchemical earth symbol draws a line across the top portion of the triangle. Fire, air, and water also have triangular symbols, but the 4 triangular symbols can be used in Book of Shadows or spellcraft to indicate information that deals with a particular element. It can be carved into tools and painted on magical projects or sewn on robes and altar cloths. In essence, on anything you want, you can draw earth energy to you by simply using its sigil. We can also activate the sigil itself by writing a person's name that we want protected in the center of the earth symbol, asking for grounding, protection, and the gift of the earth. Triangles, whether they stand for earth, air, fire, or water, are activation points. Don't put anything in there that you don't want to change or charge. Odin's cross, or the sun cross, appeared at the beginning of the Bronze Age. It materializes in ancient Egypt, China, pre-Columbian America, and the Near East. Not only does it stand for the element of earth, but also for thunder, highest power, and energy. In astrology, it is associated with the part of fortune, a point on every natal chart that, when activated by the movement of planets throughout one's lifetime, brings good fortune, riches, and success. Carve it on candles for that extra oomph. Use to break the negativity of another by placing the sigil with your name on it over their name or picture. Draw on the back of your own picture to add success to any personal spell casting procedure. Carry in your wallet, dressed with a little money oil for drawing extra cash your way. Don't draw it on the pavement and sidewalk chalk by the front of your house, though, because in the hobo sign system, this one means here you will find food, work, and generous people. Although hobo picture writing isn't used much these days in America, except by crusty punk rock kids, I highly doubt your mother would be thrilled with strangers knocking on her door. On the other hand, this symbol is also known as the Gamma Cross and is used in the inauguration of Roman Catholic Church, wherein 12 such crosses are drawn in blessed water and oil upon the walls of the establishment. Given this information, you can use the same sigil to bless the room in which you work your magic. The wheel cross also has another association, that of planet Earth. In astrology, although it is rarely used by modern astrologers due to their use of the geocentric system. In Magick, however, we can put this symbol to good use by drawing it in combination with other astrological symbols. Simply draw, paint, or write the symbols directly on candles, altars, or other magical projects that match the intent. The best way to get to know the energy pattern of an element is to work with it and use the meditation to become that element. For this exercise with earth, you will need a bowl of dirt or sand and a seed of some kind. Trace one of the earth sigils on the floor with your finger and set it inside. Sit inside. Take 3 deep breaths. Put your hands in the dirt. Begin by rolling the sand or dirt around with your fingers. Let your mind drift on subjects that pertain to the earth, the planet, earth goddesses, the ideas of stability and abundance. When you are through, ask for wisdom from the earth. Brush off your hands. Give a gentle thank you to the element, then ground and center. Hold the seed in your hand and think of a wish that you would like to grow. Think of planting that wish in the ground and visualize the result. Then physically plant the seed somewhere on your property. If you like, you can bag up the dirt or sand in the bowl and use it in a spell or ritual later on. The following are 3 ways that earth as an element is used in magic, and also just elements in general. Mentally, using visualization techniques. Astrally, using the energy of the feeling. And physically, using the element through the 5 senses, such as hearing, touching, seeing, tasting, or smelling. Many times, magical people will combine all 3 techniques into one spell or ritual. For example, in a standard ritual, the witch or ritual magician may place a bowl of salt, the physical, at the north quarter along with a green or brown candle, a physical item that will provide a mental and astral link by the action of lighting the candle. When opening the north quarter, the magical person might use a physical action, called a trigger, by using the hands to make the motions of parting a curtain or drawing to the invoking earth pentagram with a magical tool. As the action is performed, the mind forms pictures of the earth energy, the mental energy. The witch might think of a big mountain, rolling field, or a deep protective cave. When he or she lights the candle, the witch might imagine the strength and loving security of the earth. Most magical people have a series of keywords that they have learned through practice that are associated with that element. Keywords for earth would be strength, stability, treasure, bounty, protection, so on. When the keyword is spoken and the picture in the mind is conjured, the link between the individual and the element is forged. Only practice can make this visualization stronger, which in turn will give you far more successes than failures in your magical work. Spell work involving any element often uses all 3 manifestations of that element: mental, astral, and physical. For example, let's say we wanted to unearth a problem. We could literally dig a hole in the ground in ritual and ask that the information or problem be exposed to the right people, who will in turn assist us in solving the difficulty. With the help of the physical action of digging, the mental visualization of the unearthing, and the request of Earth's energy to move the spell along, astral work, we are using the element of Earth in all 3 manifestations. If we need prosperity, we might call on the gnomes, earth elementals, to help bring money to us. To do this, we could find a little gnome statue, place a gold coin or paper of money under him, and ask the elemental to search for and bring back the amount we need. See, those weird lawn gnomes have some kind of purpose. Anyway, not only is the gnome figurine a physical representation, it is also the astral one. Because what they're really doing, perhaps, is building servitors. Servitors through any means necessary. Any means necessary. As to on the astral plane, gnomes represent the elemental manifestation of the earth. Who knows if it has its own actual mindset? These are all superstitions, of course, but again, we are using all three forms of the element. When many witches will bury items for following reasons. As a gestation period, seeds can be planted with an associated wish. As the plant grows, so the wish moves to completion. As a dispelling action, one can empower an egg to take on a physical illness or problem, then bury it off the property. As the egg rots, so the problem disintegrates. As a binding action, deeper and longer lasting than the grave. These all represent superstitious ways to channel the energy, get it out of the mind. And the thing is that once this pool of energy around a concept in your mind is forcefully removed by you through this imaginative ritual process, it's almost as if this energy does go off into the own world, the real world, its own world, and finishes things, does things. But you have to know when to let it go. You have to be able to stop and not care about it. You have to just set it off into the world. And this is what we talked about. Burying things on your property is used to keep things, and burying something off your property sends something away. Both applications stem from folk magical operations and can be found throughout the world in all kinds of cultures. But the process is getting that thought form out of your head through this theatrical techniques. In spells, salt, dirt, and herbs can be added to the working to reach the desired effect. Salt of the earth cleanses and is considered a general purifier. Also considered protective, you can place a circle of salt around the picture of a sick friend or a person who is in trouble to dispel any negativity that might otherwise reach them. If you are having trouble with a stalker, which is not an uncommon occurrence in the 21st century, you can place a circle of salt around the picture of the victim or around a picture of the victim's home. Dirt from sacred areas may be added to magical powders, sprinkled on a symbol, or loaded into candles to boost the energy of a spell or to call ancient spiritual energies to the working. You can erect a small sand castle, placing plastic fingers or stones inside to represent the people you would like to protect. Figures of people and animals made of clay, the earth, can be fashioned to represent gods, goddesses, totems, and then empowered for assistance. Think of making a voodoo doll that you don't harm. It's not that difficult. Your artistic expertise does not matter. What's important is that you put the energy into it. You can also use these figures to request a healing, especially if you have made the image with something belonging to the sick individual. Clay objects and stones can also be used to multiply prosperity, especially if you collect them from all over the world, asking for prosperity to reach you from all points of the globe. As your collection grows, so does prosperity. Graveyard dirt, a witchy favorite, is not used to curse, as so many think in many traditions, but to ask for the intervention of the dead in serious situations. Dirt from a favored family member's grave does wonders when warding off a stalker, theoretically, or when trying to break apart a politically corrupt situation. Here, the dirt absorbs the negativity, while a link through love is established with the deceased, opening a pathway for your request to reach the loved one from whom you have petitioned assistance. Breaking clods of dirt, dried clumps, can help you break up a difficult situation into more manageable pieces. Granted, this is sympathetic magic at its lowest denomination, but it works. It does. So they say. Jars of dirt mixed with salt and any herbs you choose can be used to remove negativity from a room. have been extremely useful in all types of magical operations and are often used for ongoing protection and success works. Anything that moves earth can put an extra visual twist to your spellbook. Spades, shovels, and a small representation of earth-moving equipment such as dump trucks, bulldozers, and steam shovels work well. And you thought you had no use for those Tonka trucks anymore. Drumming on anything, bucket, tabletop, the floor, or using a sacred drum is one of the most powerful forms of moving earth energy in a magical setting. Moving on to the element of water. Water, symbolic of the Great Mother, is associated with birth and transformation. When we invite water into our circle at the West Quarter, we are seeking the fountain of life and the source of all things. Water cleanses and purifies, representing our search for the secrets of life and death. In folklore, deep waters represent the depths of the human soul, the subconscious, and sometimes the realm of the dead, though earth caves have also been attributed to the cycle of the death to life. Running water symbolizes the unending cascade of spiritual energy. Crossing a stream in outdoor ritual means that you wish to pass from the world of illusions into a higher spiritual state. Walking over a bridge can have the same effect. In the Greek culture, morning dew collected as the sun rises was thought to hold the magic of moonbeams on earth, and was used to bless one's eyes as a medicinal aid for vision difficulties. Looking at astrology, we have Cancer, water at its source, Scorpio, fixed or deep waters, and Pisces, water-changing directions. All water signs have something in common. Emotions. Cancer is nurturing, Scorpio is intense, and Pisces speaks of transformation and the visionary experience. Each month, the moon spends 2.5 days in each sign of the zodiac. When she is in Cancer, you can work on emotional family issues or projects that need nurturing. When in Scorpio, the moon gives you an extra punch of emotional intensity. Use Pisces for meditation, dream work, telepathy, and especially divination. Check your almanac to find out when the moon visits these signs every month. As far as a meditation for water is concerned, you will need a white ceramic bowl, a small bottle of spring water, 3 gold coins if possible, and an indelible marker. This meditation can be performed either inside or outside of your house. Draw a circle on the ground with your finger. With the black indelible marker, draw the double spiral sigil inside the bowl at the bottom. Allow to dry. Place the bowl in the center of the circle. Sit down beside the bowl and fill with the spring water. Take 3 deep breaths, then place your hands in the water. Close your eyes and think about the element. Let your mind do a little free association. Birth, purification, emotions, the spring of life. In Egypt, water was thought to wash away the sins of one's ancestors, which is probably where the idea of Christian baptism came from. You might ponder on the priestesses and priests of Isis using water in their rituals to the queen of heavenly magic. When you are finished, open your eyes, sit back, and take a few deep breaths. For many, this meditation leaves them feeling as if a crushing weight has lifted from their shoulders. You might feel that way too. Now, blow on the water and watch the spiral drawing appear to move. This is the activation of the sigil. Or you could choose to draw the invoking air pentagram over the water. Pick up the 3 coins and ask spirit or deity to provide prosperity for yourself and your family. One at a time, throw them into the water. As the water moves, think of your wish spiraling out to spirit and then manifesting on the earth plane. The practice of throwing coins or other valuables into a fountain or a pool of water dates to the early Celtic beliefs. Thank the element of water and spirit for the abundance that will now flow toward you. Pour the water onto a deserving plant. Wipe out the bowl to use another time, either for meditation, making holy water, or magical purposes of other varieties. Now, there's magical water recipes. One would be not so surprised, but you will find several different kinds of magical waters used in craft practices. Although the ingredients may be different, all magical waters are purified, blessed, and empowered within a magic circle, sacred space, or ritual environment. The water is then used to purify a person, place, or thing, as well as work some type of additional magic, depending on the recipe. Now, holy water. You could call it what you like, whatever works for you. The importance is doesn't have to be holy in Jesus sense or Christian sense or any of this. It's holy to what you find holy, your opinion of what your holy is. That's what you have to find out yourself. And it's okay to use that word for those things that you find that way, you could say. So, the general all-purpose variety of magical water made with only 2 basic ingredients, 3 pinches of salt to a cup of water. There you go. 3 pinches of salt to a cup of water. Recipes vary per witch, and some prefer additional ingredients such as rose water, a particular herb, or a drop of their favorite magical oil. The words and motions used to banish negativity, bless, and empower the water also differ from witch to witch. The consecration of water to extend purification and blessings does not belong to Catholicism alone. Ancient Egyptian, Sumer, Hindu, Greek, and Roman used it too. In time, you will have your own recipe for holy water, but for now, let's show you how to make quote-unquote witch's holy water, then using some things we've already learned when studying these elements. Now, supplies. A small bowl of water, a small bowl of salt, a bell, and a container in which to save the water. Most witches use either spring water or water from a pure running stream. Although the regular table variety salt works fine, you can also use sea salt. Cast a magic circle. With your finger, draw the inverted triangle representing water on the center of your altar. Place the cup of water in the center of the triangle. Place a small bowl of salt beside it. Ground and center. Then take several deep breaths and relax. Draw the banishing water pentagram over the bowl of water, saying, I cleanse thee of all negativity in this world and all others, so mote it be. So mote it be, huh? You don't always have to add that part. I think those sort of things are kind of silly too, because that's just me. But visualize white light surrounding the bowl of water. Draw the banishing earth pentagram over the bowl of salt and say, I cleanse thee of all negativity, blah, blah, blah. We already said that. Visualize white light surrounding the bowl of salt. Again, using the banishing earth pentagram, repeat the process over the container that will eventually hold the water for storage. Hold the water bowl in both hands and say, Sweet Spirit, or the name of a deity, I ask thee for your blessings upon this water. I consecrate it in your name. May it be used only for good, and its power be magnified tenfold. Blow 3 times on the water, imagining that the white light is sparkling on the water. Replace the bowl of water in the triangle and draw the invoking water pentagram over the bowl. Pick up the bowl of salt and say the same thing. Blow on the salt, set the bowl down, and draw the invoking earth pentagram over the bowl. Don't forget to imagine the white light infusing the salt in the same glittering way. Bless the storage container exactly as you did the salt. Note, if you choose to add extra ingredients such as rose water or a drop of your favorite oil, they will need to be cleansed and blessed as well. Ring the bell 3 times. Slowly add 3 pinches of salt to the bowl of water, stirring clockwise 3 times with your athame or finger. Here is where you add any additional ingredients, 3 drops or pinches, stirring clockwise 3 times. If you have added an herb, be sure to add a step to strain the water before it goes into the bottle or container. This will also require that you cleanse the strainer. If you are permitted to use an athame, hold firmly in both hands over the bowl of water. Slowly lower the athame into the water, firmly saying, as the rod is to the god, so the chalice is to the goddess, and together they are one. I empower thee for positive work and perfect love and perfect trust. So mote it be, yo. The one, of course, being the totality of spirit. Imagine white sparks flying out of the water and your entire altar vibrating with positive magical energy. Ring the bell 3 times. Draw an equal-armed cross in the air over the water to seal the energies. Transfer to the storage container. Close. Repeat the equal-armed cross procedure and say, this container is sealed. So mote it be. Thank the elements of earth and water, thank deity, and release the circle. No matter the kind of water you make, you can always follow the procedure above and change the words in the empowering paragraph. In the recipes below, here's some suggestions. Crystal water, used for healing. Cleanse a crystal, then bless it and empower it under the full moon for special gifts of the goddess or for healing work. Add to the water before the salt. Fire water, used to turn negativity away or bring love and creativity. Cleanse a taper candle of your color choice, bless it, and empower it under the sun. Douse the burning candle in the water rather than using the athame. Don't forget to use the invoking fire pentagram when you light the candle, saying, "Spirits of fire, work my will by my desire." Florida water, half gallon of 90 proof alcohol. 1 ounce of lavender, 1 ounce of bergamot, 1 dram of lemon, 1 dram of cloves, 1 gallon of water. Used to cleanse homes, businesses, magical tools, and candles. Can also be purchased at a botanica. Love water, used in love spells and glamories. You can add rose water or live rose petals. If you use the rose petals, allow the water and petals to sit for 1 hour before straining and bottling. Because everybody loves the little roses. All the roses. Prosperity water, used for creating prosperity and abundance in your home or workplace. Add 3 drops of juice from a freshly squeezed orange per 1 cup of water. You can also add a dash of cinnamon. Thunder water, leave the water outside in a thunder and lightning storm during the empowerment process of the recipe. Used to ward off the baddest of the bad. Candles can also be empowered in this way for a variety of purposes. Once, putting the elements together. So far, rounding out our discussion today will be a quick little batch of magic secrets tucked at the very end of this for just the faithful listeners. These are about removing magic from projects or items. Most spellcasting procedures use some form of material, hands-on approach to help the practitioner create the intended desire. When the goal has been reached, such items, spell bottles, coins, crystals, cards, cords, should be cleansed and released with appropriate honor, unless the spell specifically indicates the fate of the object within the procedure. The idea here is to unmanifest the item, releasing a pattern and sending it back to the subquantum level, some might say. Sometimes we will want to keep the tools we use, and other times we will want to discard them. Releasing energies is just as important as conjuring them, and shows your respect to the universal energies. A tidy witch is a successful witch. If a spell does not give instructions for the disposal of an item, you may wish to use the following guidelines. Crystals and gems. Cleanse in running water after each use and place in moonlight for at least 5 hours. Food and consumable liquids such as juice. Dispose of immediately and by placing outside and saying, "Blessings of the god upon me," unless otherwise directed. Spellcasting projects. These are items you have put together yourself, such as a conjuring bag filled with herbs and stones, a sigil on a piece of paper, etc., that you have kept until the goal manifested. Now that you have obtained your desire, you will need to dispose of the item in a sacred way. Check your notes to see exactly what type of ritual you did and from what or whom you asked assistance. In ritual circle, thank those energies, then lay your hands over the item and say, "The future has come. My desire was granted. Your work is now finished, no longer enchanted. Air will disperse and fire combust. Water joins spirit, each earth turns to dust. Though you must depart, your gift shall remain. Blessings upon you in Goddess's name." Break apart the project. Release your circle in the normal way. Cleanse those objects you will use again in holy water and store, bury, or burn all other items. This mini ritual is sometimes called license to depart. As far as tools or objects made of metal or wood, cleanse with holy water, your holy water, in a magic circle and place in moonlight or sunlight for about 5 hours. This should be done at least once a month. And to finish off, we got to talk about locks, keys, and subquantum crossroads. Locks and keys can be used for a variety of purposes, from unlocking a tightly bound situation to slamming the brakes on unwanted energies by locking them out of your life. The key lock-unlock correspondence gives your subconscious mind an appropriate analogy as a springboard for the conscious focus. Keeping the idea of the holographic quantum physics information, try this spell, not only to further your own goals, but as a mental exercise to fine-tune your abilities. Here's the key to success. Supplies: 1 brand new padlock and key, 1 small red terracotta pottery dish, the kind that you place under plants. The color red is important. White paint, a brush, a tag lock, or representation of the success you wish to achieve. Herbs to match your intent. Taper candle in the color that matches your intent. Write a statement of intent on a small piece of paper. I would also like you to practice saying the vowels of the English language, A, E, I, O, U, connecting the sound of each letter to the next. Do this at least 20 or 30 times until you are comfortable with the sound. Preparation. Determine whether success in this instance refers to locking or unlocking the energies. If you will be unlocking something, begin with the lock closed. If you want to lock something, begin with the lock open. Plan your ritual according to this choice in the moon quarter. Paint the spirit circle or a pentacle on the inside of a dish and allow it to dry. Now the spell. Cleanse, consecrate, and empower all items. Whether the lock will be opened or closed, place the key in the lock. It must remain there throughout the spell. Make sure that your statement of intent is clear. Cast the magic circle and all the quarters. Breathe deeply several times, then ground and center. State your intent aloud. Begin chanting the vowel sounds you practiced in the preparation phase. Place the red dish in the center of the altar. Stare at the dish, envisioning the quantum physics idea of the crossroads between this level of reality and the subquantum level. Imagine these crossroads opening, providing you with the ability to change your reality. Keep chanting A-I-O-U until the image of the dish wavers or your eyes get a little swimmy. Continue chanting the same sounds as you place the paper on the red dish. Sprinkle your chosen herbs on top. Continuing to chant, empower the candle and light it. Finally, add the picture, tag lock, etc. on the top of the herbs. Continue to stare at the dish while chanting, envisioning the pattern of what you want coming together and rising out of the vortex of the crossroads. When you feel you are ready, pick up the lock and either open it or close it with a flourish. Stop chanting. Place the lock on top of all the items in the dish and say very loudly, I know my wish has been granted. May this spell not reverse or place upon me any curse. And may all astrological correspondences be correct for this working. So may it be. Allow the candle to completely burn. Close the quarters. Take up the circle. 24 hours later, cast your circle again and call the quarters. Begin the chant again. Burn all items in the dish in a fire-safe cauldron or pot, believing that what you desire is in the process of manifestation. Visualize it rising from the vortex painted on the red dish. Stop chanting when the fire dies or when you are sure your visualization is complete. Take the key out of the lock. Wear it around your neck until your desire has manifested. Release the quarters and take up the circle. Scatter the ashes to the winds. Bury the cold candle end on or off your property, depending on whether you were drawing something to you or pushing something away. When your desire has manifested, demagic the lock and key. You can use it again for the same type of work. Recommended reading: The Holographic Universe by Michael Talbot, 3 Roads to Quantum Gravity by Lee Smolin, The Unconscious Quantum, Metaphysics in Modern Physics and Cosmology by Victor J. Stenger, Physics and Physics, The Search for a World Beyond the Senses by Victor J. Stenger, The End of Time, The Next Revolution in Physics by Julian Barbour, Schrodinger's Kittens and the Search for Reality, Solving the Quantum Mysteries by John Gribben, In Search of Schrodinger's Cat by John Gribben, and also The Tao of Physics by Friedhof Capra. Anyway, guys, that's your lesson for today. Later, and please return to the Dr. Zeero Show in the future for more free magic secrets. And please, 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 please hit the subscribe button and tell people I exist, because I can't do things because I'm not a blah, 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 blah. You have to tell people. I can't promote me. You have to promote me. Thanks, guys. Bye, 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 bye.